Welcome to the Empress channel with Lysa Black. It's so lovely to be here, and I'm really finding my feet with what I can share with you. I'm always so mindful of client confidentiality, and there's so much that I want to share with the world. So I'm going to be making some videos alongside my healing and mentoring sessions. And what I've realized is that I don't have to tell you any details about the client, but I can share some of the information that came through from me, because there's so much around healing our hearts and our emotional world that I really wish I could convey to the whole world. So this is my attempt. And I really want to talk with you about grief. It's a very shunned and rejected emotion. It's probably one of the most socially repressed emotions, because there's a lot of misunderstanding around grief, and there's a lot of miscommunication around grief. Already we have the social stigma around not being able to cry and not being able to express our sadness. So grief is a whole nother level. That means that we can feel ostracized and abandoned and completely rejected. In my work as a heart healer, using my high sensitivity, I by necessity have just learned how to respond to feelings in a way that's appropriate and suitable. What I really want to convey around grief is understanding the value that it brings. Let's say this is our experience of loving somebody. Okay, so my personal experience with grief is miscarrying our first son. And while he was only 8 weeks in my womb, and I obviously have very little tangible information about what he looks like, that I had an experience of him that formed a depth of love that I hadn't had before he was my first baby. And so here is, say, a little pocket of love that I have for him. And when he passed, this was the pocket of my grief. It's very important to understand that grief signifies loss, and grief signifies that we need to allow ourselves to feel the equal depth of loss to equate for the depth of love. And as we allow space for this to exist, for it to be felt and acknowledged and experienced, actually gives place for this to have more deep meaning. That when we try to separate ourselves from the experience of loving somebody or something, a pet or an experience or a memory, and then we try to evade or reject or deny our grieving experience, we create a separation within. And this separation within can result in numbness. It can result in an experience of anger and resentment, because if we can't experience sadness or grief, we can flip to another emotion that we're more safe and comfortable expressing. The difficulty with that is that it's not genuine anger that we're wanting to express. That's just a cover emotion, I call them. A sneaky emotion that's trying to get a bit of airtime and a little bit of stage time to distract us from giving space to this composite, equally valuable experience of loss and recognition of the value that we experienced with that beloved one. So, darling ones, this is me just really wanting to show up. I really want to be here on my YouTube channel, because there is so much about the world of emotions and self-healing that I don't see anyone sharing that. I didn't get taught this by anybody else. This was intuitively received. This was found through my own personal and professional experiences. 8 years of guiding people to embrace and acknowledge and accept their own emotions have just developed and cultivated this within me. I really want to share this. How many experiences do we have of grief? And what I can find sometimes is that people that were maybe unable to fully allow themselves to grieve one experience will then meet with a series of encounters where it's almost like the universe is saying, we really need you to be able to learn how to experience grief in a way that will help you to remember the value of truly loving. I hope this is valuable. My goodness, if it is, I would love to get a thumbs up, because the more that this video can be seen and can be shared and can be something that can reach other people's hearts, then it means that I feel like I'm actually making a contribution on the planet. I can only do so much private work, and I'm writing my books so that I can leave something as a heritage for when I'm not here any longer. And I do think about that. I don't always like living on this planet. It has some very undesirable parts that I don't enjoy very often, and I know many of us feel this way. And so I guess I'm here opening my heart, and wherever you're coming from in the world, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for opening your heart and being with me. And I really hope that your experience of grief is something that you can permit, something that you can allow. And I love permitting and allowing my grief because it's a reflection of the depth of my love. And I love my first son. I miss him all the time. And some people might judge that as something that's frivolous or insignificant or stupid to do when you couldn't have known him. But I sensed him. I felt him. He lived within my frame for those 8-9 weeks. So, you know, I really hope that this can invite you into a new experience with your own emotions. And I would love if you have any questions or if there's anything else that you'd like to share with me, please comment below. And thank you for being here. I'm really excited to be doing this more. So if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, share with anyone that you feel like this will be valuable for, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this goodness from Empress Lysa. Thank you for being here, darling ones. Mwah.